The new Mantis X10 firearms performance system has all the goodness of the original, plus holster draw analysis and recoil analysis. It's a fantastic upgrade and I recommend it highly.
Hey guys, Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. Last video we talked about hand positions, starting positions, hands up, hands down. Got a lot of questions about it. Wanted to answer some of those questions for you. From John Correa's work with active self-protection, when I first met him, I thanked him profusely. Because as a personal protection instructor, we had a lot of concepts and we had a lot of ideas and we had some anecdotal experience, but we didn't have a large volume of seeing what happens for the armed citizen. And with his work, we see a lot of things that emerge from it. One thing that's kind of important for us in start positions is sometimes one of the hands is busy. Now, it makes a big difference which hand is busy. If it's your dominant hand, that hand tends to release whatever it was doing because it's going to go get the gun. But the non-dominant hand tends to clutch or hold on to or covet whatever it was doing before. And we have many videos on John's channel where you can see people shooting with something in their hand, whether it's a pen, whether it's a phone, whether it's somebody they care about, a bag of groceries, things like that. So we got to practice that a little bit. This wouldn't be a majority of your practice, but you want to get kind of good at it. So some of the reasons that I have something in my hand is it's busy. Maybe I'm holding somebody's hand, my child, my wife, your husband, whatever's there, all right? Or it's getting somebody out of the way. Or even simpler, we have these really cool little wooden phones that we use in our force readiness class. I could be on the phone. Now, it's kind of a generational thing. Some people talk on the phone, some people text on the phone. We still have to let go of it. We're going to talk about a couple things. If you're really clued in, you know that you need to have a light source at night. It's not that many self-defense incidents happen in darkness. Most of them happen with light. But this allows you to ID your target, to really see clearly who it is, to be able to look at their hands, which is the most important thing that you need to be able to do. And it also is very hard on the other person because you're putting a light source in their eyes and they have a hard time to do it. Now, there's a lot of ways to use a flashlight. Please, this is not an advanced course. This is something simple for the average citizen carrying a very small flashlight. This is not for clearing rooms, although it could be. This is something simple. And the simplest thing for me is to just put it up by my eyes. This also allows me to defend my head from a strike and to use the weapon as a striking instrument. So there's a lot of availability there where some of the other grips don't. It's very simple. You put it by your head, wherever your head turns, the flashlight goes. Simple. It's not a flashlight course. That's a simple way to do it. So let's talk about what's important in this busy hand draw. The first thing is you got to be able to get to the gun one-handed. So this requires a bit of practice. For me, I make a circle and then I go back and get the gun. See how the shirt's folded over? All right. And then I'm going to draw the gun straight out and it should be right in my eyesight. My finger comes off the trigger. Dummy rounds in here and it's empty. And today I'm running the P30L, which is the long slide version. I always prefer a long slide because I carry appendix. And that gives me a little bit more area to hold the gun so it doesn't flop over my waistband. I've never really, that 4-inch barrel, 4.5 inch, 5 inch seems to be about right for me. It may be different for you. So how can I get to the gun? All right. I need a proprioceptive index, which is like my belly button. Okay. I just go and get it and I move everything out of the way and I go back and get the gun. I got to make sure that I clear everything out of the way. And then as I come out, I'm going to drive the grip straight out and see what's going on. Okay. That's if my hand's busy. So maybe I'm pushing somebody out of the way. Get out of the way. He's got a gun. Make him move. And I'm going to draw this gun out and be able to fire one-handed. Something to think about. The other thing is maybe I'm using my light source here so that I can see, or I'm projecting, this projects awareness and it allows predators to know that you're looking and searching and that you're involved with your awareness. Usually security guards and police officers are the ones that use a light at night. So it's a great little deselection tool also in itself. But if I had it up here and I saw something that I didn't like and I had to clear the gun one-handed, that's how I'm going to do it. Now I carry a red dot, so it's especially important that I carry a light with it because I can see my sights brightly at night, but I have to see the other person. And that's why I'm keeping this up here. So I could do both. The disadvantage is you're going to have less recoil management and you're going to have to be more disciplined with your trigger finger because you don't have that resistance of the support hand. Another reason you may find that your hand is busy is that you talk on the phone or you hold something. So there's 3 positions the hand could be in. It could be up, okay? It could be in the middle position, or it could be down like with a bag of groceries. I need to get whatever's out of this hand. The key ingredient with a support hand is to visualize exactly what you want it to do. You must give it an occupation. You must tell it what to do, because it's not as used to being as disciplined as this hand in our shooting, so it's got to have something clear to do. So what I do from here is I lift with my right hand and my left hand takes that, and then I just grab the gun out. So I just went from one thing to another. I'm not saying I invented that or it's anything special. It's just the way I do it. I think it's a cool way to do it. But I'm changing hands here. So as the phone comes down, I simply release it. This hand's coming up, and then I grab it and go to here. I'm not going to drop it like I did last time. That was kind of noisy. But it's just a simple exchange, one for the other. It costs me about a quarter second when I do it that way. I find it very easy to do. The other thing I could simply do is throw it and get rid of it. Okay? Just project it at the other person. It could be a distraction in itself. But what I got to train this hand to do is, if it's got something in it, it needs to let go of it. All right. If I was working right here, I just let go of whatever I had and then go get the gun, because the hand's already there. It's very simple. And if it was down here, once again, just practice having something in your hand, let go of it, go clear the cover garment and get it. Now, a lot of you carry on the strong side, so nothing really changes here. I just let go and the hand goes here and it waits if I have an open garment. If I have a closed garment, I do the same thing and get my gun out. Okay, so I'm just swapping the hands from one to the other. If I was using a light source, nothing really changes, because I'm going to clear it, go get the gun, and get it back out. I'm going to clear my garment and go and get it back out. So, you know, because my gun is at 1:30 or 3 o'clock, that's a pretty narrow area. So I'm going to have almost the same motion. What really matters is whether the garment is open, so like a jacket or an open shirt that can be thrown out of the way, or if it's a closed garment that has to be cleared. Notice my hand went over here to pluck, because I got to get it over the side of the gun. So, some drawing techniques for you. I make people do this in class. They work like this, and they draw the gun. Okay? Finger off the trigger, slow it down, use both hands to get back in. There's no reason not to use both hands there. The other thing you could be doing is using pepper spray. You have a less than lethal. The situation escalates, and I notice that I have to get rid of this. I'm simply going to just drop this pepper spray right here, and I'm going to go get the gun. So practice dropping things so that you can do it. So one-handed draw. Okay? Whatever's in your hand, drop it, change, and go get it. And that'll give you some other positions to have a map or a schema or a file, so that when it does come up, your body knows what to do. The problem is the non-dominant hand, the support hand, and it has to have a clear path. If it doesn't have anything to do, it should be here waiting to receive the gun. That's always where it is on a two-handed grip, and that's where it ends up. If it's busy, and another way that it could be busy that you need to think about is, a lot of people give a verbal command and then they have to draw their gun. What we've got to be incredibly careful of here is the hand coming back in front of the gun. You can see the problem mounting here. So I bring the hand over the top of the gun and bring it back in. I don't bring it back to my stomach underneath the gun. All right. So if you give a verbal command, you have your hand out and you go to draw, make sure you practice bringing the hand over the top so you don't shoot yourself on the way out to the incident with the gun. Hands out, bring it back, and then draw the gun. Give yourself really good visualizations of what you want the left hand to do, because it is the problem child. It's the one that doesn't drop things, and it makes it difficult for us. Remember, this wasn't an in-depth light course. That's not what I'm teaching. This is not for Leos, and this is not for military. This is for you guys, the armed citizen who simply needs to get home, and you need to have some robust basic skill, such as being able to do this. I like this technique because where my eyes go, the light goes. I can cover my head and block against a punch, and I can strike with a light. That's fairly robust. Some of the other techniques are much harder to work, but you got to practice your one-handed shooting skills. Remember, your Mantis X has a lot of strong and support hand drills in there for you, so simply get on it and start practicing, and you can just keep this hand up right here and think about using the light and practicing with the trigger each time that you do that. I hope that helped you guys. Thanks for tuning in for Mantis Dry Fire Monday. As always, thank you Active Self Protection and Active Self Protection Extra for letting me do these videos. I'm Brian Hill, and I'm the Complete Combatant, and I'd like you to go home and measure what you're doing, refine it, and then perform it. I'll see you on the next video. Let me know how you're doing and get some practice in. Thanks, guys.